Welcome to the Words of Wolves. This is the place where we push back against negativity and celebrate the people and positive things that are going on in our city. I'm Graham. I'm a photographer. I've lived and worked in Wolverhampton for about 10 years, and now it feels like home. I love talking to local people about their lives and connections to the city. This episode was recorded in the CoLab space on Lichfield Street. Today, I talked to Steve Evans about his career, how he became an artist when he retired, and then went to college to study art. We talk about why the gallery is important to him, and of course, his love of the Wolves.
I think I've always been interested in art. When I was at school, we were doing life drawing in class, and the art teacher walked behind me, looked over my shoulder and said, "Very workmanlike." So I became an engineer.
Right.
Now, engineering is a very creative activity, a design engineer, structural design engineer. And so I worked as a structural design engineer, became a partner in the practice and so on and so forth. And that was probably for 40 plus years, and worked on a number of arts buildings, most notably probably the Icon.
Yes. You were involved in the staircase on the news.
I was involved in the staircase and putting the floors in and all the rest of it. It had been one of my ambitions to show work in there, and I did show work in there.
In the Icon.
In the Icon after lockdown. They had Icon for artists, and I had a piece of work in there. So that ticked that one off my bucket list. I started, my wife bought me some paint for a Christmas or birthday present, I don't remember which now. And I started to mess with them, and I did quite a lot of painting. Developed into abstracts and collages and so on and so forth. And I thought I ought to try and learn a bit more about all this. So I enrolled on a foundation course at Stourbridge College, and then decided to do the HND course after that. I did that part-time, so that was 4 years. So I had 6 years at Stourbridge. I tell people that I had a career as a structural engineer, and almost invariably they say, "I can see that in your work." Yeah. Well, fine, that's good, because that's who I am. That's what I do. And the 3D work in particular is small-scale structural engineering, really.
Structural,
As I see, I see logic and beauty in structure. I think it's tracing where forces go and having an instinct for where they go.
And you had an exhibition in the art gallery in Wolverhampton a few years ago, didn't you?
A couple of years back, yeah. I was thrilled to get that, as you can imagine. Yeah. The art gallery's been good to me. That's a culmination, really, because I started off, when I was making this stuff, I thought, what am I going to do? So I joined the Wolverhampton Society of Artists. Now, one or two people said, "You're not joining that lot, are you?" And I know what they mean, but actually, the reasoning was, I had an ambition, and I set myself a target. There's the engineer coming out. Yeah. Can I get a piece of work into Wolverhampton Art Gallery? And the way to do that would be to get a piece of work into the Society of Artists show, because at that time they regularly had
the shows in the gallery.
In the gallery every couple of years. So we managed that, and I got more and more involved. In fact, I'm president of the Flipping Society now, although that's only a handshaking and smiling role, Okay. I don't do much work. But they're nice people, and they've been exhibiting up at Weston Park of late. It's a chance to get work out somewhere. And then I think it has developed. I used to make a lot of work on in 2 layers on perspex and board. I don't know if you saw those.
Yes.
And with shifting images. And then after a while, quite a long while, I think I got 80 of those at home.
All stored away somewhere safe.
They're in a big cupboard in the garage. And I thought, I think you've probably done that idea to death now. It's time to just do something different. And then started working on paper, and I've really enjoyed working on paper. And also on making the 3D. When I was at college, a chap called Paul Shackleton was my 3D tutor. And at the end of the first year of foundation, he said, Steve, we are agreed, your strength is three-dimensional. So, oh yeah. And he said, well, he said, look at your background, it should be. So I worked with him for a year making various things, and you know, as part of that course. And
I think your 3D work is the work that I think of most when I think of yours.
Yeah. Oh, good, thank you. The only trouble with making 3D work is where you store the flipping stuff. It can be a nightmare. I'd love to make them bigger. I would love to, but common sense tells me it's not a brilliant idea.
So would you make building size sculpture if you could?
Perhaps not building size, but certainly bigger than man size. But yeah, well, of course all the techniques change then. So that sort of limits the scale of what I can do, which suits me. I mean, if I'm taking work round to show, I don't have to hire a van every time I go anywhere.
So what was it like exhibiting in the Wolverhampton Art Gallery?
Great. I mean, it was, they hung it beautifully, presented it well. I thought I thought the whole experience was a joy for me, to be honest, because it's something I never expected to do. I mean, all of this is a bonus for me. I mean, I had a decent career, you know, as an engineer. A career, a lot of people would be very happy to have that, and then, okay, thanks very much, put your feet up. But I mean, I do make art for enjoyment, and because I think I can't sort of sit still and do not much.
I think it's important to keep mentally active, well, physically, but mentally active,
even
think, if you're not having to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolverhampton overall, things that matter to me in Wolverhampton, the Wolves.
Okay.
I first went to the Wolves with my dad when I was probably 5, and we went to reserve team games. And then when I was 9, he took me to my first division game, and I followed the Wolves ever since, whether we lived in Wolverhampton or not. And now it's a friendship thing. I mean, I go with 3 other people regularly, one of whom is ill at the moment, so can't go, which is sad, but we talk regularly about it. And I mean, I love it. I'm in a mixed marriage, however. My wife's a West Brom supporter.
So how does that work?
Well, reasonably well when they're not in the same division. When it works out, well, we've been together nearly 60 years, so it's worked all right.
I know, I'm not particularly a follower of the football, but I know it's a really important part of the city, and lots of people are really passionate about it.
Well, it does. It's one of the things that puts Wolverhampton on the map, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when they were in dire straits and nearly out of business, my friend John, who I still go with now, he and I were the last 2 of a group of about 9 people who used to go together. And in the bad times, people fell away. John and I kept going, and we go away together as well. We went to Rotherham, for God's sake. And we admitted to one another if either of us had stopped going, the other one would have done too.
But you stuck with it.
But we stuck with it, and I'm glad we stuck with it, because it is, and it is, it's important to me. It's important to the city.
It brings people together in a really particular way, I think.
It does. I mean, it does have its bad side, but there's football. But of late, that hasn't been so prominent, I think. So, what brought you up here?
I came to Birmingham and then went to university in Birmingham.
So, you came up for work to do what?
And then I went to Aston University and did environmental science and kind of product design. It was a combined degree, which I really enjoyed. Yeah. And that got me in Birmingham, and I worked on and off in Birmingham, did a PhD at Aston. Yeah. Working again, then the place I was working, the funding finished in Birmingham, and I came over to Wolverhampton for work. And it feels like home now. I've been here About a dozen years.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about the city that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of grabbed me, kept me here.
I mean, I've heard people sort of saying, you know, Wolverhampton, what do you mean Wolverhampton for? Most cities have a reputation, don't they? And if you get to know them,
they're not like
they're
the
not like
reputation,
that.
No.
They're not
No,
like that.
I agree totally.
No, I think Wolverhampton's got quite a lot of class things going for it, and the art gallery is very high up on the list of those. It is a very fine gallery.
But yeah, I think we're lucky to have the art gallery in Wolverhampton, and yeah, maybe we don't appreciate it as much as we should.
I think generally as a city that's true.
Yeah.
But we can appreciate it. We can tell people about it, can't we?
Yes. That's what I want to do, get the word out there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Steve for that. It was great to hear him talking about how his art developed after a successful career in engineering. And as somebody who doesn't follow the football closely, and I know that feels like a bit of a confession, I still loved his passion for the Wolves. That really came across. Join me next time when I talk to another artist about their connections to our city.